Yes, you're still watching Today with John and Helen live on Plus TV Africa. We heard and saw some heart-wrenching stories and incidences of abuses, wanton killings, kidnappings, and more in the year just about to lapse. However, the sun is still shining, and we're here as families, individuals, and Nigerians, whether broken or standing tall and strong.
So true, John. Our next guest has fought many battles for the voiceless and the powerless, and she has won a lot of many of them too.
Yes, and to take us through the topic 2023 and the Nigerian family is Toyin, Taiwo, I call her TTO, a woman's rights advocate and founder, Stop the Abuse Against Children and Women Foundation, a seasoned negotiator and mediator, and one-time PA to wife of the executive governor of Kogi State. Toyin Taiwo is a member of International Federation of Women Lawyers, FIDA, and African Women Lawyers Association, amongst other professional bodies. And she has a passion not only for women and children, but also for the environment. Currently she's a trustee board member. I'm so excited. She's a trustee board member and Lagos State coordinator of the African Smart Cities Foundation, a lawyer and child safety advocate. Let's appreciate and welcome Toyin Taiwo Ojo, TTO. Yeah, and it's interesting, FIDA. Yes, I used to be involved in FIDA many years ago.
It's women.
Oh, yes, it is. But you know, yeah, I used to be involved in FIDA. It's so nice to have you.
What happened? Why did you leave?
Never mind. That's the story for another day.
It's good to have you here. I was so excited that you would come. Most especially that just yesterday, maybe it's a story that's been trending. I ran into this story of the 4-year-old girl in Bayelsa State who has just been betrothed or married off to a 54-year-old man.
Okay, yeah, I saw that. He said they were married in
early, and a 4-year-old could, articulate that. You're not aware of it?
Not yet.
4-year-old girl married to a 54, formally married, big ceremony in Bayelsa State. And so the whole world is begging people like you who are in the forefront of this fight to please check out what this is all about.
That's one of the problems that the female child face, not only in Nigeria, but is a global menace. Because we have not moved beyond seeing women as chattels, things to be owned, things to possess. And until this mindset is totally changed, we'll keep on having issues like this. Because you wonder, I know most of us got married in our 30s, in our 20s, and we still found it very hard navigating matrimony. And we're still, trying our best, to meander through what we call marriage. Now, what in the world of everything that we hold holy could a 4-year-old know about marriage? I remember that, I think 2 years ago, there was a story that ran viral in Bekeve. I don't know if you know about the Bekeve story of Cross River, where women, even before they were born, were already betrothed to men.
Wow.
Yeah, the parents will owe money, and they will say, in return for the money, if my wife gives birth to a girl, then that's payment. And when the woman doesn't give birth to a girl, she keeps on trying until she gives birth to a girl. And when she gives birth to that girl is sold off. She has no right to own. They call them the money wife. So she has no right to own property. She has no right to an education. She's basically a slave.
Well, I don't know if social media is, fanning is the one that's fanning these stories, because we're hearing more and more of it. Now, in your opinion, would you say there has been a decline or an increase in abuse cases generally in 2023?
Well, I will be I'll be economical with the truth if I say that in 2023 the rights of women have declined. The truth of the matter is that more vulnerable persons in Nigeria, even globally, have gotten more attention. Their rights have been more respected because now we have watchdogs. Because with the advent of social media, these abuses are quickly brought to the fore. So where we are, I will tell you authoritatively that where we are in 2023 is not where we were last year.
Okay.
It's not even where we were 2 years ago. So there has been an improvement. Is the improvement appreciable? Is it so much? That's another question. But there has been an improvement. You would, to buttress my point, someone as celebrated as Baba Ijisha was tried in this country and sentenced. Somebody as celebrated as Dr. Olaleye was tried. Yes, the doctor who molested his wife's niece was tried and sentenced in this country. So if I say that much has not been done, I'm not saying the truth. Yeah.
Okay, all right. I like your optimism. For me, that is like a drop of water in an ocean, you know, because a lot of these things go on in very remote parts of this country that people do not even think it is wrong, you know, to bring it out in the public before the social media or whatever people take it. But let's be happy.
Yeah, no, you know, like he said, it is like a drop of water in an ocean. But we also know that many drops of water
makes an ocean.
Okay,
I like that. Okay, so as a seasoned lawyer who primarily, you know, you interface very regularly with the family system, what policies in 2023 would you say were good or downright detrimental to the welfare of families in this regard?
Well, I would, policies, if I look at the policies that were made in 2023, I see more of the negative effect on families because the economy really has affected families. We have more families who cannot fend for their children, parents who cannot fend for their children, thereby bringing these children, you know, into child labor, hawking, and sometimes, you know, this exposes them to further dangers. The dangers we are trying to advocate against, you know, we found out that because parents do not have a choice, they now tend to make these children, you know, to support the family economically. So the only area where I would say that the government, you know, or policies that has affected families is the passage of some of or some states that have ratified, you know, some of these laws that we like the VAP laws. So that those are the policies that I've seen that, you know, have contributed positively. But like I will always say, when we have beautiful policies, especially legal policy laws, and there are no consequential policies to back them up, because you have a law, beautiful, it's like building a house, beautiful, you know, the structure is there, but when there are no windows, there are no doors, you still are exposed to the forces of nature. It's as if you are, yes, you have a building, but you are still, you know, the thing you are running away by building a shelter can still get to you. So basically, until the government, you know, has its political will to understand that whatever economic policies, whatever governmental policies that are being, you know, enacted would have an overall effect, not just on the grown-up citizens of the country, but also on the children, because the children are the most vulnerable of our society. So until the government gets that right, we will still keep on going in circles. Until we get it right, actually. Until we get it right.
Yeah, because it starts from the family. I mean, if you're protecting your children, you know, then they are.
Take for instance, I mean, we just came out of elections.
Yeah.
And you know how sentimental whatever we can be or we have been with politics, elections, and all of that. To the point that in some areas we've witnessed wars,
so to speak.
tribal, wars, and of course this will have some kind of effect on families.
Exactly.
Do you want to take us through that?
I want to take you because fortunately I'm a product of a mixed marriage, so I'm partly Igbo, partly Yoruba. So during the elections, it was something that got to me a lot because I'm a social commentator and a political analyst, and I realized that my political opinion before the election, of course, and my commentaries were not correlated with my tribe, or any of the tribes I have affiliation with. But during the election, I realized that the part of me, my kins who were Igbos would say, I have this opinion because I'm Yoruba. And then the Yoruba side would say, because your mom is Igbo, so you tend to be sentimental. And nobody was saying that, this is more of a balanced view. And I also realized that if I had not been wise, even at home, it may have affected my relationship with my husband. And that is for us who are even educated. Now think of it where people who are not really educated, not even educated, who are not tribal bigots are, then imagine what it does to the family. Because I will tell you categorically that there are people who will tell me that my children, I'm talking about present day 2023, my children will never marry from this tribe. My children will never marry from this tribe. So you see, it's affecting the family. What are families who are already in that kind of union? Do you understand me?
Yeah.
You now see the bashing. You see people, so the psychological effect, even on those who are already in the system, bringing distrust and trust issues, goes a long way to even affect the children of that union.
And funny enough, this is one of the years that with one side of the mouth, we kept on preaching one Nigeria, unity.
Yes.
We must remain one, irrespective of whatever it is. And that election, February thereabout, was a trying period for this country.
Yes.
I'm also married to a Yoruba man from Benue State. But for those of us who are from that part of the country, we are all regarded as, some people think we're Hausas, others think we're Igbos. So you're in trouble. And you're married to a deep-seated Yoruba man. I don't want to go there. And the children get involved somehow.
Yes, because I would want to say that without turning this place into a forum for political analysis, one of the candidates in Lagos State, what really affected him most was the fact that he was from a mixed union, even though he was popular with the youth. So these are the things, that's the issues.
And it shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be. When we say one Nigeria, and we are not working towards that oneness. The funny thing is that outside this country,
we're one.
Nigerians are so united. But when we are here, it's the cat and dog game. And that's
they follow us from village. All right, so there's no discussion really discussing family welfare and its progress without talks on child abuse. We have talked about it today, and this is basically why you're here. As lead counsel on several high-profile child sexual abuse cases, you mentioned it before, the Baba Ijebu issue and the Femi Olaleye issue. Now, what wins and losses did child safety have in this year that is about to lapse, 2023?
Okay. One of the losses is something that you just mentioned when I came in, and that's the 4-year-old. It's still very sad that with all our efforts, with all the sensitization and advocacy, we are still witnessing something, as barbaric as this. Because it's sad. There's a slogan we have. We say, give a child a pen and not a penny. What 4-year-old? There's the danger of vaginal fistula. There's forget even the medical effects.
The
The mental
emotional.
effect, yes, emotional, the physical. Do you understand me? Because a 4-year-old can barely clean herself. So you are expecting her to be a wife. It's something I still cannot, wrap my head around. But I intend, because we have associates in Bayelsa, and I know that feeder Bayelsa is we have a very strong feeder in Bayelsa. After this program, I still intend to call them and find out more about that. But we also have so many gains. Like I said, the individual cases that we have gotten victory for. You see, the truth of the matter is that before now, cases like domestic violence and child abuse were seen as family issues. You see the frontline officers, the police, the civil defense telling you to go home. Even in the courts, with no apologies to the system, you will see people telling you that you will see judges telling you or magistrate telling you, I'll give you a further adjournment to see if you could settle this within yourself.
Yeah.
And these are blunted cases of domestic violence. Of course, our rules, give room for mediation.
Yeah.
What we call an alternative dispute resolution. But I would want to see a more firmer stance when it comes to these issues. These issues are very germane to the society, because when you have a damaged child, a child who is damaged, ultimately will translate to a damaged adult. And the truth is that we have a lot of adults with emotional baggages, damaged adults roaming around. And you are wondering why we have people in politics who are behaving as if they're not normal. It starts from the childhood. Because when you have a good and stable childhood, you will translate to a good, responsible and stable adult.
Yes, we couldn't have put it better.
Yes.
I'm right there, you're talking like a feeder person. Because really, that's what feeder stands for. But quickly, let's even look at the pocket.
Okay.
How has stuff like, the economy, how has it dealt with the family in 2023? Just in a few words, because we're about wrapping up the program now.
Like I mentioned earlier,
Stability, divorce.
the divorce. If you go to, most
suicide,
of the when you go to courts and ask, most of the divorce matters are hinged on the economy, finances. So you find out that whether we like it or not, the economy, exposes people to even trafficking, because a lot of migrations, and a lot of trafficking is done because the people here believe, I can't have it better, let me go out. And then you have sex trafficking. Yesterday night I was called for a case of sexual trafficking. And then if you look at those people, they come from poorer backgrounds, and because they want to eke out a living, they are susceptible to these child traffickers. So it's basically the economy has a very huge influence on these vices.
Yeah. Helen, you want to throw in one thing before we go?
Okay, abuse women, abuse men, abuse children, all around us. We see it every day. What can we do, to minimize it? If we can't stop it, right away. What are the things that individuals, and groups should learn? How can we help as one person at a time?
Yeah.
Because it needs for us to collectively understand, what there is to do.
Yeah, I think the first thing we should do is to develop a high intolerance for these abuses individually. And then when you see these things,
Report it.
We say, if you see something, do something.
Do something. Yeah.
Report.
Yes. And I think that wraps it up neatly for us. Of course, man's inhumanity to man is an area that continues to frighten all of us. We pray and hope that in the new year, the narrative will be better. Yes.
All right. Thank you so much. Thanks a million for finding time to come. Compliments of the season. We wish you Happy New Year. And then we also would like to hear in the new year that this job gets easier and better with more wins.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much.
All right, next on the program is Dolly Phillips. This studio has been so heated up, by our first and second guests. So let's take a breather right now with the segment from the gym, and Dolly Phillips is waiting.
Yes, and immediately after that is the Culture Conversation segment with Chizoba Mofebu. Leadership and young Africans. Is there a new template and that's the question she'll be answering with Mercy Akamo. Let's hand you over to Dolly Phillips first, yes?
Yeah.